¿Te gusta? A mí me gusta también. Se escucha bonito.
Shabbat
Shabbat
Shalom.
Shalom. Welcome back to the Torah portion here in Light to the Nations. I apologize because we're starting half an hour later, but Lilian overslept today. So we couldn't start before.
Yeah, a lot of dreams.
You need to
Yeah,
wake up earlier.
Yeah, I know.
So no, just kidding. But actually you were sleeping more than myself as well.
Yeah.
So we're starting the half an hour later, but we are with the desire of YaHuWaH on sharing this time together as we always do. You know, for us it's such a blessing, and it's so important to have this time together, at least virtually, to connect each other, you know, with the same mindset, with the same heart, to get closer to Allah and to share time with you, studying the word of YaHuWaH in such an important day as Shabbat.
Yeah.
You know, I have been telling you this frequently lately, is that Shabbat is such a desired
Yeah.
because, you know, weeks and days are becoming so complicated. I'm speaking for myself.
Yeah.
And most probably you are facing similar situations. So having Shabbat is so wonderful.
Yeah. I think that now it has become like a basic need. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Something like that.
I
Like
agree with you.
Shabbat, then the rest.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Because Shabbat is with Allah, so is the most perfect time that we have.
absolutely.
Yeah, learning from
Absolutely.
him, being taken care by him. I don't know. Is a different moment. Even though we can have very special moment during the week,
Mhm.
but I think that this day is, I don't know, apart, especially by him.
Yes. Yes. So we welcome all of you. I see 17 of you
Yeah.
with us.
Shirion,
I see Shirion,
Hi.
Yaya,
True and learning
Michael,
from Chandler,
Corina.
Arizona.
yes.
Michael, yeah.
I see what I
Yeah.
too. And Truth and Learning, to walk in it. I like your name,
Yeah.
actually.
Denise, that is BBDJG. That's Denise. Yeah.
So welcome all of you to this portion. And Yaya slept until 10:20. You know what happened to me? I woke up very early,
Yeah.
actually. Around 5 a.m. Started to pray, started to answer a lot of emails that I was pending for weeks. So my apologies for those of you that were waiting for an answer from me, but I answered most of the emails today. I'm still pending some answers, but it's been a hectic weeks. But then I continued sleeping and I overslept as well. But here we are. That's the important
Yeah,
thing.
that's important. And keep sitting.
Yep, that's true.
Keeps digging. 7. Yeah.
Okay, very good. So today we're gonna study the portion Acharei Mot, that is it's been translated, I think, as the after the death. And this is we continue studying the book of Vayikra, Leviticus, and this is from the chapter 16 to the end of chapter 18. So, you know, since we overslept, we didn't have the chance to read it.
Yeah.
So we're going to study together online with you, and we will see what is coming to our hearts. So as I have been inviting you in previous weeks, I invite you again this week. Put your comments in the chat. Study with us today. Give us of your insight as well, what Allah is putting in your heart regarding this portion. That's the way that we can grow together, studying together the word of YaHuWaH. So you know, and now we have 22. That's amazing. So one thing before I continue that I need to tell you is that next week, next Shabbat, most probably we are not gonna be able to do the portion online. We are traveling. Actually, we are traveling tonight. I have a business trip that I need to some meetings that I need to attend. But this is turning to a blessing to us because we are taking advantage of this trip and I'm going to Florida, to Miami, because of my full-time job. And we managed to extend the stay, and we are going to fly to Nashville.
Yeah.
And we're gonna spend a few days over there, trying to meet some of you on that city. So I will. We don't know yet what we are gonna do.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you that we had this desire in our heart to do this, and if we manage to meet each other, I will tell you a little bit more about what is this about. But I can share you is that basically we are paying a vow.
Yeah.
It's exactly what we're doing. We are paying a vow to YaHuWaH, and that's the main reason, one of the main reason, the most specific reason why we are doing this. And I think he is opening the door to have this trip becoming a reality. So we are going to be spending from the 5th of May until the 8th of May near Nashville, Tennessee. So if you are close by, we will invite you to join us. Again, we have not yet scheduled anything. We don't know yet how we are going to do it, but we are relying on YaHuWaH to give us wisdom on
he's going to
how we are going to schedule things.
Yeah.
So if you are close by and you want to join us, it's going to be a wonderful time to try to see each other face to face. Send us an email. Send us an email to lightoeverynation@gmail.com, and let me write this down on the chat. Lightoeverynation@gmail.com. Yes, there you have it in the chat. So send us an email, and we are gonna start scheduling and coordinating things. It will be wonderful to see some of you with us and meet in person.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the reason that most probably next week we are not gonna have the chance, because I'm not gonna have the equipment and everything that we need in order to do the broadcast. But if it's YaHuWaH's will, maybe we're gonna have some Torah portion with some of you face to face. Okay. So
yeah.
What?
No, nothing.
Nothing?
No.
Okay. Okay, so let's continue. Let's continue as we always do. I have some song to share with you here, so let me put it on the screen. So let's listen to this worship song to YaHuWaH. Here we go.
ומצוקה אביט אליך בצער ומצוקה אקיה בצער ומצוקה אביט אליך הנה ישועתי בצער ומצוקה משנה מה יקרה, לא אתה לא תשתנה, אתה נשאר לאמן לעד. לא משנה מה יקרה, לא אתה לא תשתנה, אתה נשאר לאמן לעד, אתה לאמן לעד. לכן החזיק מעמד, אתה נאמן, לכן החזיק מעמד.
You know, it's a beautiful lyric, especially to remember in these times.
Yeah.
You know, and when I was listening and reading the lyrics of the song, you know, it came to my mind the story of in the Sea of Galilee with the storm, and YaHuWaH, you know, praying for the storm to calm down, to calm down. So it's exactly what the music and the song was talking about. We go through these seasons of testing, of trials, of difficulties, of distress. And in those times is when the most we need to get closer to him, because he's the one bringing the calm after the storm. And, you know, I think what happened in our human nature is that we forget these kind of things. That we are in the middle of the problem. We forget that the only thing we have to do is to raise our hands and try to touch him and seek him. So it's a good reminder.
Yeah, and I was taking attention on a small word that they have on the wall, and it says, and I like it. It says, "I trust in the next chapter because I know the author."
Yep.
And I think that is so beautiful because, and that's true, the author of everything, our creator, he has gave us life, and the best thing is that he knows us. So he realized about what our fears,
Our needs.
Yeah, everything. How
And our desires.
Yeah, how can become overcomers and not lose that crown that is waiting for us.
True.
Yeah.
I think that's a good word to have a time of prayer. So let's pray together.
Yeah.
YaHuWaH Elohim, Elohim of Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Elohim of Yahushua, our Mashiach. We pray to you in this moment, giving thanks to you for everything you do for us. Because you are the one that is opening doors. You are the one that provides to our needs. You are the one that give us life, sustain us. We want to give thanks because who we are is because of you, because you have decided to take us, to bring us to your path of righteousness, to give us life and give us hope through the offering of your Son, Yahushua, to give us expectation of your kingdom here on earth. We want to give thanks because you give us your covenant, and you give us your commandments, because through them we are a special treasure for you. Thank you, Abba, because even when we do wrong and when we do a lot of mistakes, you are giving us opportunities to repent and to do teshuvah, to come back to you, if we do it with the desire of our heart. In these times of trouble that the entire world is going through difficulties, especially your children that have the desire to live according to your instructions, is becoming even more difficult. We want to get closer to you and pray to you that you can help us through these times, that you can give us that type of heart that is always seeking your face, that type of heart that is having the understanding that in you we have the answers, that it only in you we have salvation through Mashiach. Give us, Abba, the understanding every moment of our life, so we remember you, especially on those times that we need you the most. We give our heart to you, knowing that you are the one that can guide our steps in order to become those overcomers, in order to get into the final destination that is your kingdom. Thank you for giving us the desire in our heart to serve you. Thank you for giving us that love in our heart for your children around the world. We wait for that moment when we are going to be all together serving you in your city, in your set-apart city. And we know that that time is coming soon, and it's coming faster. And we hold our hand to you with strength, because we want to be there. And we know that we hold our hands with strength to your hand. There's nothing to fear, because you are going to give us that strength. You are going to be beside us in order to get to your city. In this time, we pray to you that you can bless this gathering, that you can bless everyone that is here with us in this time, that you can bless everyone that is watching this study later, that your presence be with us, that your Ruach can guide us in everything we do and everything we say. We trust you and we allow you to teach us, because you are the one teaching us all. And we have that expectation that you can open our understanding in order to know your truth because you are the author of the truth. And we open our heart for you to teach us today. Thank you, Abba, for being with us. Thank you for your presence and for your Ruach. We pray to you in this moment, and we do it with all our heart, with all our love to you, and we do it in the mighty name of your Son, YaHuWaH HaMashiach, our King. Amen.
Amen. Oof.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's move on. Parsha in 60 seconds. Here we go.
Shalom and welcome to Parsha in 60 seconds. Today's portion is from Leviticus 16:1 through 18:30. It is called Acharei Mot, which means after the death. After Aaron's sons died, Aaron was not to come into the most holy place, or he would die. Aaron had to participate in a cleansing ritual that required bathing, dressing up, and sacrificing some animals. He would take 2 goats, one for a sin offering and one for the scapegoat to carry sin away into the wilderness. This ritual was then commanded by God to be kept once a year forever. It is called the Day of Atonement, or Yom Kippur. Fasting and resting were an all-day event before the priest would cast off the people's sin onto the goat. God prohibited the slaughter of animals unless they were offerings, and also forbid the consuming of blood. Eating already dead meat was unclean. God prohibited sexual immorality involving family, same-sex, and animals. God banned child sacrifice to Molech. God explained that the Canaanites defiled themselves by adopting these practices, and any who did any of these things would be exiled. And that is Acharei Mot in 60 seconds.
Acharei Mot in 60 seconds. So here we go. Let's put the scripture on the screen and let's see what the Ruach is bringing to this portion today. So let me put things here in order. Okay, so you want me to start reading?
No.
You want to read it?
Yeah.
Oh, what a surprise. Okay, so let's begin.
Okay, and YaHuWaH spoke to Moshe after the death of the 2 sons of Aaron, as they drew near before YaHuWaH and died.
Sorry.
Wow.
Yes, I needed to check something because I forget sometimes things. I'm
Okay.
becoming old.
Okay.
Okay.
And YaHuWaH said to Moshe, "Speak to Aaron, your brother, not to come in at all times to the set-apart place inside the veil, before the lid of atonement, which is on the ark, lest he die, because I appear in the cloud above the lid of atonement."
What do you think he has access to all the time before this? I think the
Maybe.
scripture is not clear on this point, but I have always wondering because he's saying, not to come in at all times.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I was...
And what do you think here in the chat? If you have some insights on my question to Lillian, please share your comments.
I think that at this point, it was linked with the death of his children.
Okay.
So maybe the condition, even though he didn't know it, since it was death involved, was, I don't know, maybe dangerous, because if you know the presence of YaHuWaH that is on over the ark between the 2 cherubims, it says that he's going to appear there.
It's what we
His
talked
presence.
last week, if you remember.
Yeah.
It's
Now,
about this being set apart, being
set apart,
clean, the purity of
so
the place, and so
now
on.
maybe he was contaminated, he was impure.
Okay.
So I think that's why he's telling him. So now maybe, and he's like realize or no, he knows, but he's telling us that maybe we are not clean all the times. So
you see it as a foreshadow, actually,
yeah,
of our situation. And that's a beautiful picture anyways, because when we think on what happened with the veil at the death of Mashiach,
yeah.
that was torn down as a kind of, as a kind of...
Now there is no separation.
Yeah, it's a kind of evidence or
Yeah.
that he wanted to show us is that through Mashiach there's no separation, we have access.
Yeah.
So maybe this is what it's about somehow. It's because of sin, most probably.
Yeah.
And that's why, we're going to read here, he needed to go inside with the sin offering.
Yeah.
Okay, it could be. So let's continue.
Okay, with this Aaron should come into the set-apart place with the blood of a young bull as a sin offering and of a ram as an ascending offering. He should put on the set-apart linen long shirt with linen trousers on his flesh, and gird himself with a linen girdle, and be dressed with a linen turban. They are set apart garments, and he shall bathe his body in water, and shall put them on. And from the congregation of the children of Israel he takes 2 male goats as a sin offering, and 1 ram as an ascending offering.
Let me make a comment here, because you know that you always see us that we are wearing white.
Ah, yeah.
And you know, I don't know, actually, I'm trying to remember, maybe you remember, but I don't trust in your memory, actually.
No.
But you know, sometimes many years ago, and it's not because we want to appear like priests or nothing
No.
like that. It's not the intention, and it's not that everybody needs to wear white linen clothes. We are doing it because we felt compelled somehow in our hearts to do it.
Yeah, at least I remember what happened to me.
I don't remember what happened to me, actually. It
And-
was in one moment it's a kind of click, and I kept it as a kind of a tradition for myself.
Yeah.
It's that every time that I'm being in Shabbat, most of the time that I can, and actually it's 100% of the time,
Yeah.
I'm wearing white, linen white.
Yeah, I remember that it was when I was reading I think that it was in Hasson in Revelation. When it says about the people dressed in white linen garments. And those are the ones that are overcoming the trials and everything.
So like maybe living the expectation. You know?
Yeah, maybe it's like to have the desire that someday we are going to have that linen clothes, I think. And I started to do it, and I remember at my parents' house when I was spending all the weekends with them. And even my mom was doing my first linen garments and everything. And I took the pieces and she was doing, and I still have them with me, some of them. And it was really nice, and I remember that some people, because my parents, they live in the top of a hill, so, and it's a kind of it's not in the city, it's in a countryside, and we have neighbors but the neighbors are very far away, and I don't know why they always were watching me when I was walking around the gardens and things like that, and they was thinking that it was a kind of ghost because I was dressed in white and with my hair like I don't know, loose. So they were, and in Chile there is a history of like a legend, I don't know, a story of a ghost. There is a lady that is dressed in white, and they thought that was that ghost.
They were very afraid.
Yeah, they were afraid, especially the little kids. So it was kind of funny. But I remember that I really like it, and I really like to prepare the clothes, and I don't know, to have a different kind of clothes for that special day.
You know, I remember in one of our trips to Israel,
Yeah.
and we were going to Jerusalem
Yeah. And
on Shabbat,
yeah.
wearing white. And
I decided I'm going to use them anyhow.
And, you know, I think not everybody, but there were some people
they
looking,
were
staring at
yeah,
us.
because for them is all the opposite.
They're wearing black,
they wear
especially
black.
the ultra-Orthodox.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, you were reading, and I remember this, because, you know, actually, and this is exactly what was happening with the Kohanim, the priests, and especially with the Aaron, the high priest, because they were wearing special clothes.
Yeah.
So all the attention was on them, and actually it's really, really important that YaHuWaH commanded them to wear this special cloth in order to go into the service in the Mishkan, in the tabernacle.
Yeah.
So I totally correlate this to what's going to happen. It's exactly what you said, and it's written in the book of Revelation, that he's going to give us new garments. And most probably those new garments, and we can have different type of interpretation what that garment means. It could be the new body on the resurrection. It could be many other things. Actually, even Yahushua was speaking in a parable about the garments for the feast.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
But it's a kind of sign as well of set apart people. And nothing to do that we're wearing white, but it just came to my mind this thing that happened to us, actually. Okay, let's continue.
And from the congregation of the children of Israel, he takes 2 male goats as a sin offering, and 1 ram as an ascending offering. And Aaron shall bring the bull as a sin offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself and for his house. And he shall take the 2 goats and let them stand before YaHuWaH at the door of the tent of appointment. And Aaron shall cast lots for the 2 goats, 1 lot for YaHuWaH and the other lot for Azazel. And Aaron shall bring the goat on which the lot for YaHuWaH fell, and shall prepare it as a sin offering. But the goat on which the lot for Azazel fell is caused to stand alive before YaHuWaH, to make atonement upon it, to send it into the wilderness to Azazel.
You want to make some comments? You stopped.
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
don't know. I think that maybe you want to say something.
No,
No?
I think you want to say something. Go ahead.
No, for me, well, for me, this part at the beginning, it was kind of tricky.
I always want to say something, but,
Yeah?
but go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead first.
Because I always think that why for YaHuWaH is going to be the one that is dead. Why? And then I think that it was when I was reading this kind of this scripture and some others that I always think about that maybe all this life that we are having here, we as I don't know, our lives are going to be measured at some time when we go through that process from when we experience death in this mortal body. So how we are going to be presented to him. So sometimes I think, and I was talking about this with some friends the last week,
Yes, so something, but go ahead.
that sometimes the time that we have here in the earth is just to give us the opportunity to know him, to make the Teshuvah and be ready for that encountering, and to give our blood the life that he provided us here, but to receive a new life that is eternal. And I thought, because a lot of people always are saying, why this person that is so bad and is so mean is still alive, and so young people who are like, I don't know, perfect one, almost like messengers, and they have left. And I think that maybe it's because of that, because maybe the person who is going to stay is because they still need to know him. They're still having a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, that's why I was thinking about why you say, wow, what happened? What happened?
This is something that I haven't seen before.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. I like
Yeah.
when that happened. Yeah.
But before that,
Yeah.
don't forget.
Don't forget.
You know, I went through a lot of details.
Mhm.
I remembered
Mm.
through this portion in the study of the death, burial, and resurrection of Mashiach.
Mm.
And when we were trying to understand the offering of
Mm.
Mashiach to the light of the scriptures,
Mm.
I was connecting this passage here of the offering in Yom Kippurim,
Mm.
because this is Yom Kippurim, what's
Mm.
talking about, we know this, with what happened with Mashiach. So I'm not going to go into the details
Mm.
now, but I will invite you to go into that series, the death, burial, and resurrection of Mashiach. I don't remember what was the part.
Mm.
Where I'm talking about the offering of Mashiach, and we found beautiful things connected to exactly to this offering, understanding what was the offering of Mashiach. And I don't remember if I brought this on the study or not, but it's beautiful to see that even when we read what happened to Mashiach when he was suffering. And Pilate brought him before the people.
Mm.
He put 2 persons,
Yeah.
Barabbas
and him.
and him,
Yeah.
in a kind of similar fashion of what we're seeing here in this this passage,
Mm.
with the 2 goats, one from Azazel and one for YaHuWaH.
Mm.
And I do believe there is a direct parallel,
Mm.
because one is for the sin offering of the people and the one is for Azazel,
Mm.
in the same
Mm.
way that we see happening with Mashiach.
Mm.
is that the Mashiach was chosen as the offering, sin offering for the people, in the same way that the gold is being offered and chosen for the sin of the people. And Barabbas in this case was set free
Yeah.
in order to continue what he was doing in the past, meaning and somehow a kind of foreshadow of what we see here on in the kind of the gold that is going to Azazel. So that's one thing. But what I saw here is that this is gonna sound funny, is that we're all gonna die.
Yeah, of course.
You know, it's like
It's like being
screaming,
born.
we're gonna die.
Yeah.
But we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
And what am I talking about? At the moment that we're still alive, at the moment of the coming of Yahushua, our bodies are going to be transformed. And I was talking about my understanding about what it means, and it was last week, I think, what it means to be born again in the spirit. You remember we were talking about this? It was last week, right? I remember, the days are going that fast that I don't remember. It was last week of the previous one. But anyways.
Maybe the previous.
Maybe the previous?
Yeah.
Okay. So my current understanding is that the being born again in water is the baptism in water, and in spirit is at the moment of the resurrection or the transformation of our bodies. So what it means is that we are still alive. We're not going to talk for the rest, because the rest of brothers and sisters from the past that are dead are going to be resurrected. They are already dead. But if we are going to be alive at that moment, being transformed, it means that we're going to die, and we're going to come alive again.
Yeah.
So what is the wow moment for me when I was reading here? The two goats, one is set free to the outer darkness. Okay, this is going to happen, when we talk about the judgment, the final judgment between the goats
And the lamb.
and the lambs. Okay, so the goats are being sent out to the outer darkness. Mashiach was talking all the time about this. But the rest, in the same way that we see here, the goat for YaHuWaH is dying for the sin. But in this case, we are dying as the goat for YaHuWaH, is what I saw. But he is giving us life again in the resurrection or transformations of our body. So it could be that the final picture of what's going to happen in the end, we can see it happening here as well. And a special goat somehow representing all of us in what's going to happen at the end. This goat or these people that is going to die and become alive again, being chosen for YaHuWaH. You see the point?
Yeah, it's like all the process from being dead and resurrected. And it's going to be like in an instant. So, wow.
Yep. Okay, so let's continue.
And Aaron shall bring the bull of the sin offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself and for his house, and shall slay the bull as the sin offering, which is for himself. And he shall take a fire holder filled with burning coals of fire from the slaughter place before YaHuWaH with his hands, filled with sweet incense, beaten fine, and shall bring it be inside the veil.
And most probably, following what I was telling you, Yahushua, the descendant of Aaron, being the high priest, is going to present us before YaHuWaH. In the same way that here is presenting the offering, but he's going to present, this is the chosen people, and presenting it to you. In the same way, because it's the goal for YaHuWaH.
And shall take a fire holder. Okay. And he shall put the incense on the fire before YaHuWaH, and the cloud of incense shall cover the lid of atonement, which is on the witness, lest he die. And he shall take some of the blood of the bull and sprinkle it with his finger on the lid of atonement on the east side. Also in front of the lid of atonement he sprinkled some of the blood with his finger 7 times. And he shall slay the goat of the sin offering, which is for the people, and shall bring its blood inside the veil. and shall do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bull, and sprinkle it on the lid of atonement and in front of the lid of atonement. And he shall make atonement for the set apart place, because of the uncleanness of the children of Israel, and because of their transgression in all their sins.
So this is exactly what we're talking last week.
Yeah.
You remember, is about the YaHuWaH looking for a place in order to dwell, but the place needs to be a clean place, a tahor place, not defiled one.
Yeah.
But he was surrounded somehow by uncleanness.
Yeah, and that's why I was trying to share this with you, that it was that maybe the death of the sons of Aaron, they died inside.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why YaHuWaH just is given the instruction
Yeah,
right
you
now,
mean that they
because
brought uncleanness because
Yeah.
of what they did, bringing strange fire.
and also because of their death, because they were dead in the
That's
place.
an interesting point to look at it, right?
Yeah. And he shall slay the goat of the sin offering, which is for the people, and shall bring its blood inside the veil, and shall do particular.
Go ahead, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay. And shall do with that blood as he did with the blood of the bull, and sprinkle it on the lid of atonement. Yeah, I already read it.
It doesn't
And
matter.
in front of the lid of atonement. And he shall make atonement for the set apart place because of the uncleanness. Yeah, no, I already. Yeah, sorry for that. And okay.
17.
And no man should be in the tent of appointment when he goes in to make atonement in the set apart place until he comes out. And he shall make atonement for himself and for his household and for all the assembly of Israel.
It means that even not the Kohanim, the priest, supposed to be inside.
I think.
So it was only Aharon, the high priest.
I don't know. When I read this, it called my attention, and I think that it's only him.
Yeah, and most probably know the people. You know, I see the pattern with what's happened with the Mount Sinai. YaHuWaH was commanding exactly the same, and we were bringing this topic a few weeks ago. Is that everybody needs to be somehow far away,
Yeah.
or at a distance
Yeah.
from that place, because he was going to descend on it.
Yeah.
So it's a similar pattern over here. So it could be that was only, and you know, it's because of that, you know, it's talking about uncleanness. Everybody's unclean. That's why he needed to do the bull offering first for his sins, because he had all. That's why nobody else could be over there in order to bring purity and do atonement. Okay.
Should I continue?
Yeah.
And he shall go out to the slaughter place that is before YaHuWaH and make atonement for it. And he shall take some of the blood of the bull and some of the blood of the goat, and put it on the horns of the slaughter place all around. And he shall sprinkle some of the blood on it, which is in with his finger 7 times, and cleanse it, and set it apart from the uncleanness of the children of Israel. And when he has finished atoning for the set apart place and the tent of appointment and the slaughter place, he shall bring the live goat.
What do you think about the 7 times? I think it's very representative. And considering in terms of prophecy.
When I read about this, I was thinking about the periods that
the 7-day creation week is 7 millennium days for the full restoration of all things.
Yeah.
So it's a kind of representation of 7 times to clean everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and it says that is strange, because it says, and when he has finished atoning for the set apart place, now that everything is clean, then he brings the live goat.
Yes, exactly.
The one that is going to be sent to Azazel.
Yes.
Yeah. And the cleanness, it was for the people, and it's also for the place itself. And in this case, if we can see this related to what is going to happen in the end, what this could be, I don't know.
It's about bringing the live goat, you mean?
Mm. Is it maybe when
It's Shadan, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm. And
You know,
then
it's
when
gonna
it's
be
going to be finally and yeah. Mm.
At the end
was-
of the 1,000 years.
Yeah, I was thinking something like that.
Mhm. In my current understanding.
Yeah. Then Aaron shall lay both his hands on the head of the live goat, and shall confess over it all the crookedness of the children of Israel, and all their transgressions, in all their sins, and shall put them on the head of the goat, and shall send it away into the wilderness by the hand of a fit man.
You know, once, recently, even you remember this,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, the lady was complaining because I was doing that. But I had the chance to put my hands in the head of a goat.
Yeah.
It was a goat, or
Yeah, no, it was
a
goat. Yeah, it was goat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was goat.
It was a goat. And actually, you did it as well.
Yeah.
You remember?
And it was really
Yeah, it was something.
because we can feel some kind of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was kind of strange.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I saw the animal, I remember exactly all of this. Is that when they are laying hands on the animals to transfer the
And-
crookedness, I was
and
transferring
you
all
know-
my sins to the
And
goat.
you know what was funny? That I was kind of petting the goat.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know, like that. And then the goat started to push a little bit.
A little
Remember?
bit,
And
yes.
then suddenly she stayed, I don't know, still.
Yeah.
And then it was like that, and you also we were with our hands over it,
Mhm.
and we were not putting any pressure, nothing like that, just feeling kind of energy.
Exactly.
And then it was a lady who was
Yeah,
thinking that we were
was
pushing.
pressing the head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and but it was something that it was so funny because then you said, "Well, I'm trespassing all my sins," but it was something so representative at the moment, and I thought what they could have feel at the moment, what maybe the animal, and I think that the animal understands something
Mhm.
because I don't know, it caught my attention that why she was approaching to us.
But
and
that's the
everything.
point, you know, the experience of doing it. It was interesting because I was feeling something in my hand.
Yeah,
A kind of, as you said, a kind of energy, a kind of electricity, to say so.
yeah, something like
Static,
that. Yeah,
something like that.
Mm.
And it was amazing. You felt it as
yeah,
well.
yeah,
And I truly believe, you know, I have experienced this also in other ways. Is that laying hands,
Mm.
you can feel and you can have experiences on it. You can feel energy going down and going out. And this is exactly, you know, what Mashiach felt
When the
with the woman with the
yeah.
blood issue.
Yeah.
You know, that's why he said, you know, power has going out from me, because he felt something.
Yeah.
And you know, I remember that we saw some news a long time ago. This therapy.
Ah, yeah,
With
I remember
animals.
with animals.
People are
and
going to
usually
hug
them,
animals and so
yeah.
on. I do believe that I don't know if the therapy is a good thing, but the fact of hugging an animal is the same thing that we experience by laying our hands in the goat.
And well, I think that's why maybe Mashiach also was telling, and we know that we are energy, and we have to work that the energy that is going to come out from us is a positive one, not a negative one, and that is being worked inside out.
But in this case, they were transferring all the negative.
Yeah,
things.
yeah, that's why. Because you can get rid of the negative, and if you talk, and if you say something with a
It's a kind of balancing
well,
us internally.
maybe
It's an
I don't
interesting
know.
thing, actually. But you know, just talking about the experience, you can feel it. If you have the chance to do it, and you have the chance to experience this and put your hands in the head of an animal, do it. I think you are gonna experience the same. I'm not saying that you need to do it based on doing what we are reading here is nothing at all. And this is something that the Kohen Gadol needs to do. What we're reading, our Kohen Gadol is Mashiach, just telling you what we experienced by touching the animal, understanding and trying to understand what was this process of laying hands on the animal, and you have the chance to experience the same. I think it's a good thing to do, just to understand what it means and experience what it means to laying the hands on the head of an animal. So let's continue.
And the goat shall bear on itself all their crookedness to a land cut off. Thus he shall send the goat away into the wilderness. Aaron shall then come into the tent of appointment, and shall take off the linen garments which he put on when he went into the set apart place, and shall leave them there. And he shall bathe his body in water in the set apart place, and shall put on his garment, and shall come out and prepare the ascending offering, and the ascending offering of the people, and make atonement for himself and for the people, and burn the fat of the sin offering of the slaughter place on the slaughter place. And he who sent away the goat to Azazel washes his garment, and shall bathe his body in water, and afterward he comes into the camp.
We know Azazel is coming from the fallen angels, and we know that connection with everything that they did and was the punishment they received when we read the book of Enoch. So that's why, you know, all these process of Yom Kippurim is connected directly to the end times and the final judgment. And that's why when you were asking about what this represent, I truly believe that this represent Satan.
Yeah.
Is the final punishment.
And maybe, I don't know, like taking all the sins, the crookedness and everything, is to make a separation between what is tahor and what is, how do you say, tahor and tamei. How to divide the positive from the negative, the light from the darkness. So at the end, we are trying to do what our Father were asking us to, not to mix that kind of thing, is to identify them and take them away and get rid of them. So I think that's the idea, and not to let them come in again.
Absolutely. So, you know, I was checking this in the book of Revelation, chapter 20, and I saw a great white throne, and him who was sitting on it, from whose face the earth and the heaven fled away, and no place was found for them. And I saw the dead, small and great, standing before the throne, and books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged from what was written in the books according to their works. So if somebody is telling us that the works are not important, okay, the book here is saying something totally different. Judgment will be according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead who were in it, and the dead and Sheol gave up the dead who were in them. And they were judged, each one according to his works. And death and Sheol were thrown into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And if anyone was not found written in the book of life, he was thrown into the lake of fire. So it's the separation between the set apart ones and the wrong ones.
And what happened if the goat was returning?
I think there was some stories about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
I don't remember at this moment, but I think I read in the past some stories on the in Jewish traditions that the goat were coming back.
Yeah, because some animals, they're so clever that they will
return,
find the way home. So I think that's why it's also Mashiach mentioning that when somebody is cleansing the house and they're, I don't know, getting rid of a lot of one spirit that is tormented them, that we have to be very careful about the time that is coming after, because then they can find maybe the house clean and tidy and everything, and they can come with more, even more.
Yep.
So we have to work on that. Yeah. And the bull for the sin offering, and the goat for the sin offering, whose blood was brought in to make atonement in the set apart place is brought outside the camp, and they shall burn their skin, and their flesh and their dung with fire. And he who burns them wash his garment, and shall bathe his body in water, and afterwards he comes into the camp. So they have to clean themselves too. The person
that is
who
bringing,
take and the one who is putting in fire the. And this shall be for you a law forever. In the 7th new month, on the 10th day of the new month, you afflict your beings, and do not work the native or the stranger who sojourns among you. For on that day he makes atonement for you, to cleanse you, to be clean from all your sins before YaHuWaH. It is a Shabbat of rest to you, and you shall afflict your beings, a law forever. And the priest who is anointed and ordained to serve as priest in his father's place shall make atonement, and shall put on the linen garments, the set apart garments. And he shall make atonement for the most set apart place, and make atonement for the tent of appointment, and for the slaughter place, and make atonement for the priest, and for all the people of the assembly. And this shall be for you a law forever, to make atonement for the children of Israel, for all their sins, once a year, as he did, as YaHuWaH commanded Moshe.
This is so interesting because the whole purpose on the Yom Kippurim is to cleanse you, to be clean from all your sins before YaHuWaH. And I think this is so representative to the end times, understanding that that final judgment is what bringing final cleansing to the world, and needs to be through blood.
That means that we are only, clean once a year.
That's how the Jewish people believe that in Yom Kippurim they are being forgiven and cleansed from all their sins. At this point, I don't know. I don't think so, because we have the offering of Yahushua. He is our atonement. So every time that we repent and do Teshuvah, he is
providing that.
The forgiving our sins and providing that cleansing. So I think in these times that we are living, all of this we'll have to see. The Moadim are going to be restored in one moment. We need to see how all of these are going to take place in the kingdom. But I think, as we know, that the Moadim are pointing out to the plan of restoration. I think that that's the most important thing to understand here, is that the purpose from YaHuWaH is to provide cleansing, is to clean everything.
And do you think that maybe the Moadims are going to be restored and everything are maybe pointed or a sign, or I don't know, the purpose is maybe for the people who never had the opportunity of repenting here, or maybe it's like their second chance?
I have a theory about that. Yeah. It's a little bit controversial.
Okay. Yeah.
But you know what I believe, and I have been sharing this on this channel in videos from the past when I was talking about the calendar, is that
because the idea is the healing, they clean the all the place pure.
Correct.
So if then he's rescuing, he is taking and gave us the chance to become clean. And that if we are talking then in the second part of the story, then the idea is that we can get in that status.
Yeah, that's absolutely. Remember what
maybe here is different, or maybe here is more difficult, because we have a lot of things that are contaminating and that are polluting everything.
Yeah.
So, but there.
Yeah, but remember what we talked a few weeks ago, that he's going in phases. And it's in the same pattern of the tabernacle. You remember
Yeah.
when we talk about
From
the
inside
Jerusalem
to-
being the Kadosh HaKodeshim,
Yeah.
Israel, and the rest, and the rest of the world, the rest of the model of the tabernacle. So now he's restoring Israel.
Yeah.
And that's why as soon as Israel is restored, during the kingdom, he's going to start restoring the rest. And especially the full restoration will be with the cleansing after the 1,000 years. That's my current understanding. Now, what I was going to tell you is that I do believe is that Israel, the people of Israel, are the one fulfilling the Moedim. The common understanding is that is Mashiach the one fulfilling the Moedim. What I believe is that we, Israel, are the one fulfilling the Moedim. So
we have the example of that Mashiach already did.
And we, for sure, we're not going to do it by ourselves. We do it
need to
through
do it with,
Mashiach.
Through Mashiach and with him.
And then Mashiach being the king is part of the people as well.
Yeah.
And we see it clearly here is that what's the whole purpose of Yom Kippurim? Is to cleanse the people.
Yeah.
So who is fulfilling Yom Kippurim is the people. So this is going to happen in my current understanding, in two phases. First is going to be the cleansing of Israel in this pattern of the tabernacle or the temple. Is that the cleansing of the people of Israel, and that's going to happen, I do believe, during a Yom Kippurim. And what it means the cleansing of the people, I think is going to be the day of YaHuWaH, starting on that day. Harmagido most probably happen on the day. Resurrection could be happening on the day. So and transformation of our bodies could be happening on the day, because that's going to be for the people of Israel is going to be the cleansing. But this is one phase. The second phase is what we just read in Revelation. It's cleansing for the rest of the world. That's why there is going to be a massive resurrection, second resurrection, from everybody that has been living in the world, in the earth, from all times, from the beginning. And that's why judgment is coming in order to provide cleansing. Now, to your question, what's going to happen with those that never had the chance to hear the good news? I'm gonna say even that is a little bit controversial, but I do believe that maybe they're gonna have a chance to hear in that moment. That's why Satan is going to be released in order to bring some trials to the people at that time. I don't know how long the judgment will last. I have my theories. It's not going to be one day. It's going to last more time. So during that period of time, the people are going to be tested. And that's why it could be, I have two theories, and then it's not the time to go through through the scriptures just to put a fundament to my way of thinking, is that one option is that people is going to be judged according to their works, as it is written. And Paul Shaul was talking a lot about this, is about the Torah written in the heart. Even people living according to the Torah without knowing Torah. And I think even the two of us who have been talking about experiences in the past, that when we came to the understanding of Torah, we saw that we were practicing Torah without knowing it. You remember?
Yeah, and we still know some people who are doing it without knowing it.
So it could be that people are going to be judged according to their works, that maybe they were following Torah without knowing Torah. Okay? That's one option. And the second option is what I believe is that maybe people are going to have the chance to hear and learn. And we have so many foreshadows in the scriptures of, I remember I brought this passage in the past, in the book of Nehemiah, Nehemiah in Hebrew, when There is a beautiful picture of Mashiach and the disciples that they were standing up, and because the people were listening and hearing Torah, but these 12 plus 1 were bringing the understanding.
Yeah.
So it could be that maybe that's exactly what's going to happen in that time. And if I'm not wrong, that will be a fantastic moment because we could have the chance to continue bringing the good news to more people. For those that didn't have the chance to hear the good news, maybe we'll have the chance to bring and becoming and continue being a light to the world. But again, that's my current understanding. It's not the time here to go into the different passages just to put the fundament of what I'm saying. But it's something that we need to study and we need to see. I know that there are multiple theories about what's going to happen. I do believe the only thing we can do at this point is just to study the word, to pray about it, and to ask Allah to teach us and show us the way. But the reality is that at the moment we are going to live through those experiences, we are going to know the truth. So I'm eager I'm waiting for the time to see what really is going to unfold. The good thing is that is to have the expectation that we are going to be part, not of the second resurrection, or the first resurrection, to be part of the kingdom, the 1,000 years kingdom of YaHuWaH. So let's read the chapter 17. Let's go to the chapter 17. Let's see what it's talking about. And it says, I'm going to read from here.
Do you want me to turn on the other light? No?
No, we're good.
Okay.
We're good. You can go with the scrolling down because I'm
okay.
going to read directly from the scripture.
Okay.
It says, and YaHuWaH spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to Aaron, to his sons, and to all the children of Israel, and say to them, this is the word which YaHuWaH has commanded, saying, any man from the house of Israel who slays a bull, or a lamb, or a goat in the camp, or who slays it outside the camp, and does not bring it to the door of the tent of appointment, to bring an offering to YaHuWaH before the dwelling place of YaHuWaH, blood guilt is reckoned to that man. He has shed blood, and that man shall be cut off from among his people, in order that the children of Israel bring their slaughterings which they slaughter in the open field, and they shall bring them to YaHuWaH at the door of the tent of appointment, to the priest, and slaughter them as a slaughtering of peace offering to YaHuWaH. Oh, do you want to make some comments here?
No.
You know, I have a note here in my scripture. It says they need to bring an offering of peace. And I have a question that I didn't answer here. It says, what happened for those that are far away? It's exactly what you were questioning before the broadcast. So I think, and I don't remember where in the Devarim, in the book of Deuteronomy, there is a commandment for the people that is going to the land. And in this case, what I understand is talking about the tabernacle. They were living in the wilderness. So they have the chance to go and offer and bring the offering, if they wanted to enjoy a barbecue. YaHuWaH wanted to enjoy the barbecue with them. Just to put it in a different way. That's why he's saying, okay, you want to have a barbecue, bring this as an offering and let's have a party together. I want to be part of the party. This is what, in the way that I see it, just to put it in a funny way, because, that's the way that I see the offerings, most of them, is that YaHuWaH wants to have a meal with us.
A special time.
A special time, enjoying a meal. And we have been talking this several times, is that,
peace offering?
No, about the peace offering. The importance in our social life, the importance of partaking food. When we're fasting, we are isolating ourselves from those special moments, and then the people that is around us that are not fasting.
Yeah.
Sometimes they feel
kind of
you feel some
kind of uncomfortable. Yeah.
uncomfortable. And actually, partaking food is is something that's bringing joy.
Yeah. It's like everything is okay.
It's okay. It's a moment to share. It's a
Yeah,
moment
we can
to
talk.
feel good, just to
Yeah,
talk, to
make deeper connections. Yeah.
exactly. So that's the way that I see the offerings, and that's why YaHuWaH is saying, how come you are having a party and not inviting me? So you have an instruction. You are commanded that you cannot do parties without me. You need to share the meals. I want to be part of that meal time. So, they were living, and I think that's the way that I see it. They were living all together in the wilderness. That's why it's being very specific about the tabernacle, the Acharei Mot, the tent of appointment, because they were all in the wilderness. They had the chance to go to the door of the tent of appointment, bring this as a peace offering, give the offering to YaHuWaH, bring the part to the Kohanim, and enjoy that meal all together. But as I said, I don't remember where in the Barim he's opening the door, because what will happen with the people living in the north of Israel, in the south of Israel, people like us that we are not in the in the land yet. It is forbidden for us to enjoy a barbecue? I don't think so. But if we are in the city, if we are in the temple, when the temple is being restored, we need to go. We need to enjoy and partake that time with YaHuWaH. And this is, I think, is the bottom line of what he's saying here.
Okay.
That's my take. So let's continue. It says in the verse 6, and the priest shall sprinkle the blood on the slaughter place of YaHuWaH, the door of the tent of appointment, and shall burn the fat for a sweet fragrance to YaHuWaH. I would like that the YaHuWaH can burn my fat as a sweet fragrance to him. I will pray about it. And let them no longer slaughter their slaughtering to demons, after whom they hoard. This is a law forever for them throughout their generations. And this is a really important point, because somehow it's connected to what is being written before. Maybe what they were doing,
they were
slaughtering to demons. And I think Paul is talking about that, but I don't remember. Let's see if I can find it quickly. We are doing a online study all together. So let's see.
And maybe that's why we provoke the master to jealousy?
Exactly. That's why. Let's read from this one. Therefore, my beloved, this is in Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 14 onward. Therefore, my beloved ones, flee from idolatry. I speak as to wise men. Judge for yourselves what I say. The cup of blessing which we bless, is it not a sharing in the blood of Messiah? The bread that we break, is it not a sharing in the body of Messiah? It's talking about the symbols of Pesach, Because there is one bread, we who are many are one body, for we all partake of the one bread. Look at Israel after the flesh. Are not those who eat on the slaughtering sharers in the slaughter place? This is exactly what we're talking about. What then do I say? That an idol is of any value? Or that which is slaughtered to idol is of any value? Because he's talking about food. I think in the previous chapter and in this one he's talking about food.
Okay.
And so on, and eating meat and so on. Okay? And the point is that in those marketplaces, they were selling meat that was offered to idols. And he said, no, but what the nations slaughter, they slaughter to demons and not to Elohim. And I do not wish you to become sharers with demons. You are not able to drink the cup of the master and the cup of demons. You are not able to partake of the table of the master and of the table of demons. Because this one, do we provoke the master to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? So this is exactly what we are talking about, and this is really interesting because what is a demon? And this is just to expand a little bit more the understanding, not for now, but just to consider it. Is the spirit of a Nephilim. What's the Nephilim? Is the children of the fallen angels. And what the fallen the Nephilims became, they became the mighty men of all. What are the mighty men of all? You know, all these how to say, these stories of the Greeks mythology, Roman mythology, other cultures mythology, somehow all are connected to these gods of the past, or the strong men of the past are connected to those mighty men of old that basically were the fruits of, or the children of the Nephilim that later on became demons, and according to what we read in the book of Enoch.
And a lot of festivities that the world celebrates, they're addressed to that kind of celebrations and that kind of sacrifices.
Exactly. So you know, we can talk about the food here, but we can understanding that what we say is written over here is that we cannot provoke the master to jealousy, but we cannot partake the cup of the master and the cup of demons. And when we partake the cup of demons, and when we partake of all those things that are related to demons,
pagan things
related to the Nephilims and the fallen angels and so on. So in this case, you know, coming back to the portion, it could be that maybe they were doing that. So that's why YaHuWaH is saying, no, come back to the right path. And instead of partaking of the cup of demons, come and partake of my cup. And I will partake with you, enjoying that meal offering.
Good.
Okay. So that's why we need to be so attentive in everything we do, understanding that we are following and partaking all the time with Allah and not with the world. And there you have what the Yahushua said. You are in the world, but you are not of the world. So let's continue verse 8. And say to them, any man of the house of Israel or of the strangers who sojourn among you, who offers an ascending offering or a slaughtering, and does not bring it to the door of the tent of appointment, to do it to YaHuWaH, that man shall be cut off from among his people. If we connect this to offering to demon, we can understand why the severity of going against the commandment here. Okay? Verse 10, and any man of the house of Israel or of the strangers who sojourn among you, who eats any blood, I shall set my face against that being who eats blood, and shall cut him off from among his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the slaughter place, to make atonement for your lives. For it is the blood that makes atonement for the life. Therefore I said to the children of Israel, no being among you eats blood, nor does any stranger who sojourns among you eat blood. It's just to keep the purity of the place. And any man from the children of Israel or from the strangers who sojourn among you, who hunts and catches any beast or bird which is eaten, shall pour out its blood and cover it with dust. For it is the life of all flesh. Its blood is for its life. And I said to the children of Israel, do not eat the blood of any flesh, for the life of all flesh is its blood. Anyone eating it is cut off. And any being who eats a carcass or what was torn by a beast, be he a native or a stranger, he shall wash his garments and bathe in water, and shall be unclean until evening. Then he shall be clean. And if he does not wash or bathe his body, then he shall bear his crookedness. And you know, this last part is connected to what we were reading in chapter 5. It's about being unclean. It's not a sin, But if we
realize
that we were partaking of set apart things being unclean,
we need
it's a guilt.
and
We need to present an offering, and this is exactly we see here the example. All this thing with the blood is he's becoming so YaHuWaH is so direct to tell us about the importance of blood. Just a parenthesis, I don't imagine what's going to be the new body without blood. That's going to be interesting to understand and to see. But the point is that he's talking about the importance of blood. We were reading, I think, in the past about the story of Hevel and how YaHuWaH put this together when he was talking about his death, that the blood of Hevel is crying out to him, somehow representing the being, the soul, the life of the person. And while I was reading, and we cannot talk so openly here, but while I was reading, I just remember what has been happening in the world in the last few years. It's somehow the attack to the life by manipulating somehow the blood, because this is exactly what has happened, right? We have been hearing so many stories from close friends that are going through some situations because of taking what was mandated. That we can see, it's even in a physical way, we can see that manipulating the blood has a direct consequence, especially in the last few years. Consequence with life. Threatening life. And how could be this connected to threatening spiritual life and eternal life? That's a question that we should meditate about and try to think and answer about. Okay? So that's why YaHuWaH is so open and so direct to say, life is in the blood. And that's why, even it's written here that even if we pour out
you have to cover
we need to cover it with dust.
Well, in the beginning and the creation, it says that we were taken from the dust. So when we have to finish our days here, our bodies and everything is going to return to the dust because
Correct.
we were taken from there. So
Absolutely. Okay, let's move on. Let's read chapter 18.
okay.
Your turn.
No, you can read.
No, go ahead. Come on, go ahead. You can do it.
And YaHuWaH spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and said to them, I am YaHuWaH your Elohim. Do not do as they do in the land of Mizraim, where you dwell. And do not do as they do in the land of Canaan, where I am bringing you. And do not walk in their laws. Do my right rulings and guard my laws, to walk in them. I am YaHuWaH your Elohim. And you shall guard my laws and my right rulings, which man does and lives by them. I am YaHuWaH.
I like the way that this chapter is starting, because he's reminding of two things. You are in the world, but you are not of the world. This is exactly, when we read the chapter, the verse 3, do not do as they do in the land of Mizraim, where you dwelt. I took you out from that place.
The past.
Is the past. I'm teaching you how you have to live according to my kingdom. So you are in this world, but you are not part of that world. And he continued, and do not do as they do in the land of Canaan, where I am bringing you, walk in their laws in the future. Exactly.
What we're going to.
So you are going to enter into a place, don't follow
what they're doing. I am giving you the instructions.
That's why, it's a reinforcement that we need to rely, even in a daily, in our day-to-day activities. We can go from there to many places. But anywhere we go, we have a set of instructions and principles of how to live. And we need to live according to those principles and instructions all the time.
Yeah, even though there is a saying that it says when you go to Rome, you do as Romans do. No, that's not kind of true, because you have to live the life as our Father has indicated you.
That's correct. That's correct. And even just to reinforce that point, he's making it even more clear in the verse 4. Do my right rulings and guard my laws to walk in them. I am YaHuWaH your Elohim. And you shall guard my laws and my right rulings, which a man does and lives by them. I am YaHuWaH. Beautiful beginning.
No one is to approach anyone of his own flesh to uncover his nakedness. I am YaHuWaH. The nakedness of your father or the nakedness of your mother you do not uncover. She is your mother. You do not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of your father's wife you do not uncover. It is your father's nakedness. The nakedness of your sister, the daughter of your father or the daughter of your mother, whether born at home or elsewhere, their nakedness you do not uncover. The nakedness of your son's daughter or your daughter's daughter, their nakedness you do not uncover, for theirs is your own nakedness. The nakedness of your father's wife's daughter, brought forth by your father, she is your sister. You do not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of your father's sister you do not uncover. She is your father's flesh. The nakedness of your mother's sister you do not uncover, for she is your mother's flesh. The nakedness of your father's brothers you do not uncover. You do not approach his wife. She is your aunt. The nakedness of your daughter-in-law you do not uncover. She is your son's wife. You do not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of your brother's wife you do not uncover. It is your brother's nakedness. The nakedness of a woman or her daughter you do not uncover, nor you do take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness. They are her relatives. It is wickedness. And you do not take a woman as a rival to her sister to uncover her nakedness while the other is alive. And do not approach a woman to uncover her nakedness in her monthly separation of uncleanness. And do not have intercourse with the wife of your neighbor to defile yourself with her. And do not give any of your offspring to pass through to Molech. And do not profane the name of your Elohim. I am YaHuWaH. It's always a kind of controversial because it says, do not take a woman as a rival to her sister to uncover her nakedness while the other is alive. And always I have heard about the story of Jacob and Rebecca and Leah. So what is happening there?
You know, I have heard in one theory in the past.
I'm going to share with you then what I think about.
Really?
Yeah, but after you.
First, I think Jacob was deceived by Laban.
Yeah.
So
it was not his option.
So that's why I do believe that he was not going against this commandment. Because yes, it's written exactly as it is. You know, I think in Jewish tradition they believe somehow those stories in Bereshit are kind of foreshadow that somehow were strengthened in Torah later on. But I don't think so, because Torah, I think, is from the beginning. They knew Torah from the beginning. So I do believe that in the case of Jacob, it was exactly that. He was deceived. That's why.
Yeah. Good.
Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to.
No, why not?
No, I've always thought that maybe in some cases that for us they're seen with a kind of a blurry situation. Maybe in those cases it's like YaHuWaH telling us, I can take something that at your eyes is not pure, but I'm going to make a miracle and I'm going to make it pure. I don't know. But it's a kind of thought, just a thought. Not saying that is like that, but I think that it has happened in the past with some stories, especially in kind of using women. Yeah. And now, continue.
23. Ah, no, 22.
22. And do not lie
Oh,
with
we are entering to dangerous.
topics with the current
With
situation
current
in the
society.
world. Yeah, because now we are going to be the haters of these
And
times.
intolerant and so
Yeah.
on. Okay, go ahead.
And do not lie with the male as with the woman. It is an abomination. And do not.
But you see how it's written?
Yeah,
It is an abomination.
And he said that nothing abominable or nothing unclean is going to enter to his kingdom. And do not have intercourse with any beast to defile yourself with it. And a woman does not stand before a beast to mate with it. It's a perversion. Do not defile yourself with all this, for by all this the nations are defiled, which I am driving out before you.
So you know that he's in this part after talking about all this, let's call it sexual immorality. Is he's telling us the same thing that he mentioned at the beginning when we started to read this chapter, that we are in the world, but we are not of the world.
So we have to realize.
Yes, and so all these practices, are becoming a sin. And actually, there is a story in the book of Corinthians when they're talking about the sin of a person that was part of the assembly, that and the way that it's written in the letter of Shaul Paul is that he's saying something like it's a sin that is not being known by you, by the nations.
Yeah.
And this is a direct reference to this type of relationships.
Yeah.
So he's reinforcing the idea exactly what the YaHuWaH is saying here, is that the nation became unclean because they're practicing these things. You are a set apart people. You cannot do the same.
Yeah. So for us, it cannot become something normal.
Exactly. We cannot be defiled.
Yeah.
This is, what he's looking for us is for us to be tahor, clean.
Set apart.
Not to become set apart, not to become defiled. That's the entire purpose. And why he's looking for that?
Because
he has a purpose for us.
Yeah.
Is to be the light into the world. Is to bring the kingdom.
Because maybe we can have access to his cottage place. I don't know. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, and just see the comment from Yaya that now people are marrying their animals. See, that's true, that's why the world is becoming crazy. I don't know if they're committing sexual immorality as we are seeing written here in the word.
Yeah, maybe that's
and
why.
maybe, we don't know. But even the fact that they're going to that point and getting closer to that, to what is written here, is that, we see in spiritual warfare and the demons doing whatever they want with people that are allowing them to do it. So that's why, we need to pray for the world and we need to pray for the people to come to the knowledge of the truth.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue in the verse 25.
Okay. Thus the land became defiled. Therefore I punish it for its crookedness, and the land vomited out its inhabitants. And I think that is happening with all the migration process from one country to its. So maybe it's the result, and it's happening when a lot of things, bad things are happening in the world, and things are, part of the normal life. All these immigrant people going from one place to another, and
I cannot imagine what is in the heart of Allah when he's looking down into the world, to the earth.
I think that he's suffering.
Exactly, because he see, the entire world defiled, contaminated.
And the sad,
his creation.
The sad
totally
part
defiled.
is that he has gave us the instruction. He has show us the good way, but the world, and he said, the intention of the man or the heart are always tended to the negative side. Why?
That's why we need to be the light, because when he's looking down into the earth, at least he's gonna be some lights shining,
in some places,
and he's gonna bring peace and joy
maybe
into
there
his
still
heart.
I have some hope.
We are the last hope.
Not everything has been lost. Yeah. What is
The 26.
the 26th. But you shall guard my laws and my right rulings, and not do any of this abomination. The native nor stranger who sojourns among you,
Everyone.
because the men of the land who were before you have done all these abominations, and thus the land became defiled. So let not the land vomit you out for defiling it, as it vomited out the nations that were before you. For whoever does any of these abominations, those beings who do them shall be cut off from among their people. And you shall guard my church, so as not to do any of these abominable laws, which were done before you, so as not to defile yourself by them. I am YaHuWaH, your Elohim.
He is YaHuWaH, our Elohim. And you know, for me, I have a note here in my scriptures, is that this is a direct reference to what is written in the book of Revelation. Is that we cannot become lukewarm, because if we're lukewarm, he's gonna vomit us out of his mouth.
Yeah.
And then he's talking about vomit here. And why the people was vomited out of the land is because they were practicing all of these things that they were against the commandment of YaHuWaH. So how we could be vomited out from the mouth of YaHuWaH, become a lukewarm, is when we do exactly what we're reading in the book of Corinthians, partaking from the cup of the master, and wanted to partake also as well from the cup of demons. We cannot be here and there. And I think we are coming to a point in history that for all of us, we are feeling that we are getting closer to a point of no return, that we will need to make a decision, that we cannot continue living according to the rhythm of the world. And that is going to be maybe a difficult decision, but in one moment we will need to cut it completely and say, I'm out. I will dedicate myself to living according to the ways of YaHuWaH and to his desires. Because the world is pushing us to some specific place, you know. What has been happening the last few years is becoming increasing and more crazy and crazy. The world is being by the will of YaHuWaH, because this is exactly what is written, being conducted into a point that is pushing all of us to make that decision. And we need to be prepared for that. It's not going to be an easy decision. That's why now is the time that we need to strengthen ourselves in faith, as the song that we put at the beginning was saying, that even though that we're going through difficulties and tough decisions, is that he's faithful enough to protect us and to guide us even through the shadow, through the valley of the shadow of death. So it's just a matter to open our eyes to see what's happening. And maybe today we are feeling this, having this feeling that, you know, we have one foot here and this other foot there. Maybe we are feeling compelled that maybe this word is for me, that in the way that I'm living, I'm partaking from the two cups and I don't want it. But I think if you're feeling that in your heart, and I can tell you by our experience, we're feeling it for a long period of time, is that it's not that we're practicing and slaughtering two demons. It's just this feeling of not being able to be completely in the kingdom, and having the feeling that the world is dragging us to the crazy rhythm and not allowing us to serve YaHuWaH as we desire in our hearts. I think that's what's going to happen soon, and most probably very soon. if not this year, next one. And not trying to put dates, but it's just to see what's happening in the world and to take a look in the prophetic calendar as well. But I think soon or very soon we are going to be pushed to make a difficult decision. And that decision, in the same way that we have been seeing so many stories in the word of YaHuWaH, is that a line is going to be drawn in the sand, and we need to decide we're going to stand for YaHuWaH or for the world.
Yeah.
And that line, I think, is already drawn in the sand, but the time for the decision has not come yet to the final time. I think it's like a clock that is the one as we put at before this broadcast that is going backward. It's not coming to the zero yet.
But we are getting approached.
But we are getting approached very fast. Very fast. So if you have the chance to make that decision now, you need to do it following only what YaHuWaH is giving you and guiding you.
Yeah.
But I think all of us, we are approaching that time that we will need to make the decision, considering the line drawn in the sand, is to say, I'm stand for YaHuWaH and not for the world, even though the consequences that decision can bring.
Yeah.
So we need to be prepared for that, because I rather prefer to be vomited by the world,
but not
from
YaHuWaH. Yeah. Maybe
So
we are going to be an abomination to the world, but not to
I think
YaHuWaH.
we're really an abomination to the world. Maybe, but not everybody is noticing us. But the moment that we are being noticed by everyone, that will be a tough time. Not to be afraid, it's just to rely and believe in Allah. Okay, I think we got to an end.
Yeah.
Any final words from your side?
No.
No? Not from my side either.
So
But it's ugly to finish the broadcast like that. You need to say something. No, it's always a blessing to be with you. And pray for us. We are, as I said at the beginning, we are traveling. We need to prepare our luggage.
Yeah.
I didn't have time even to prepare my luggage this week. So we need to prepare our luggage because we're traveling tonight. So pray for us during our travels, just to be protected and safe by YaHuWaH, for Him to open the doors as He did it in the past.
Yeah.
So we are going to be protected and see miracles as we saw we have been seeing lately.
And everything that He does is always a blessing. So
yes. And as I said at the beginning, I'm going to repeat it again. It could be that most probably we're not going to have the online study next week, because we're going to be in this trip. But I really hope that we are going to be able to meet some of you.
To share maybe something. Yeah.
Face to face. Okay, so let's keep it until here. Thank you so much for joining us. Like always, many blessings from Allah to all of you. 65 of you connected, and this is such a blessing. I really hope that whatever we were sharing today has been bringing some insights to you. And we will be reading the chat later on, as we always do.
Yeah, after
this.
But a very big hug with a lot of Kodesh love from Abba. He has let us know from His love that He has a very special love. And that is the love that we feel for each of you, even though we don't know each other. But I think that He's making all these ropes of love in the family. So that's nice.
That's absolutely true. So having said that, we're going to finish with a song that I was taking this morning. So I hope you are going to enjoy. See you in next study. Thank you so much for your prayers, your love, for everything you do. And I hope to see you in the next study.
Yeah.
So have a blessed Shabbat. Have a blessed week.
Yeah. And Shabbat Shalom.
And Shabbat Shalom. YaHuWaH be with you all.
Bye.
מלכנו בורא קדושים, ישתבח שמך לעד, מלכנו יוצר משרתים, ואשר משרתיו כולם עומדים ומשמיעים ביראה אחד קדוש אלוהים. כל המלאכים שרים, העצים מהללים, השמיים מעידים קדוש אלוהים. לעושי אורים גדולים, לך כל הניסים, אדון החיים קדוש אלוהים. מלכנו בורא קדושים, ישתבח שמך לעד, מלכנו יוצר משרתים, ואשר משרתיו